You are not paranoid schizophrenic. You are actually spiritually awakening, and you're experiencing trauma that is stored in the body that you are in the process of healing from. Another way of looking at it is you are in a place of healing your body and coming back to your body. A lot of people don't understand about people that experience psychosis and paranoid schizophrenia or bipolar or PTSD or anxiety. All these chronic illnesses is that they're stored in the body, and it starts from stress. If you experience trauma in your life, which most of us have, it's stored in the body, and the more trauma and more stress that we accumulate in our bodies and have in our bodies that is unable to be completely expressed, it's stored in the body, and it turns into illness. We don't talk about that. We don't talk about that in our Western world. And it's really sad to see so many people that have been diagnosed with these illnesses that they're put on a label and they're saying, hey, this is for the rest of your life, this is how you have to live. And there's no choice that they have. Well, people do have a choice, but they believe the doctor. They take what the vibrations from the doctor, and they say, hey, this is my new reality, and for the rest of my life I'm going to live in misery and suffer for the rest of my life. I know this from personal experience. I've lived through this. I'm healing, in the process of healing this, and I took the doctor's words of saying I'm paranoid schizophrenic, and I said, hey, at one point I was saying, hey, this is my life now, and I'm going to be on antipsychotic meds for the rest of my life, and I'm choosing not to. I'm choosing a life of understanding deeper what is going on in my body, what is going on in the spiritual realm, what is it that I am healing from, what gifts do I have, what spiritual gifts do I have access to, and how can I work with this, and how can I heal myself and heal the world through these gifts. The Western world doesn't want to say that. The Western world says, hey, you're just sick and you're crazy, you hear voices, you have hallucinations, you're crazy. And the rest of the world says, hey, like, you have a gift that needs to be utilized and understood how to use it, and or heal from your shadow self and work with this energy in a safe environment and community that is being held. And so what a lot of people in the other parts of the world is saying, hey, like, I see you and I want to be there for you through this time. But not in the Western world. In the Western world, it's, hey, here's a pill and shut up. I hate to say it so harsh, but that's the way that it's really sad to see these people that are extra sensitive, either through either they've had a spiritual awakening, or they've taken substances, or they are in really intense traumatic experiences that have made them completely lose touch with this reality. And it breaks my heart to see people, you see people on the street talking themselves and experiencing these out-of-body experiences, and it breaks my heart to see people not being able to get the help that they need, and that they're just labeled as crazy. And it's not true. It's not true at all. It's something that is through embodiment practices, through working with shamans, or in being held in community, it can be healed. And it's very powerful. And through, it's something that can be healed. So I really want to say that let's just stop with this dilemma of putting people in psych wards and not getting the help that they need. And it also starts with really believing in yourself and believing that you can heal and that you can change. It takes work, but it starts with you believing and having the right people around you that also are rooting for you and believing in you that you can heal from this. So if that's you, I have so much compassion for where you're at, and this process is not easy, experiencing like hallucinations and voices that are, some would say like hurting yourself or hurting other people and all these things, like it's extremely intense. And to know, I know from experience, it is so intense, and it's hard to really know what it's like until you've experienced it. But it's not easy. And so this is why we just call people crazy and just put them in hospitals and things like this and just lock them up and tie them down. And it's creates actually more trauma, and it creates more dissolution and things like this. So we have a really massive problem in our hospitals, in our healthcare, in Western medicine, and it's a massive issue around healing. And so what I've learned, and things that I am implementing, and things that you can also implement too, if you are experiencing this, is that knowing that healing begins within. Healing starts with you believing that you can. Joe Dispenza talks about the mind and how powerful it is to just manifest whatever reality you want. Not just that, but truly healing, beginning with the mind and rewiring our brains to shift into a new reality of just by either listening to meditations about this and just very focused on healing the mind. And our mind are extremely powerful to heal. We have such capability to heal our bodies and our minds through meditation. And so by believing that you can heal, that is the first step. The second step, consistency, doing meditations every day. If you know Joe Dispenza or follow his work, he helps people heal chronic illnesses, mental illnesses, and without medication and things like this. He helps people through that, just through the power of meditation, really focusing that. But you have to believe it first. And from that belief comes healing and with consistency. So we are awakening more and more every day from this idea that the hospitals and the medicine and the doctors can't save us. Especially around this mental health dilemma. I'm not speaking on like surgeries and things like this. It is, yes, in a way, yes, they can help you with that, but it starts with you taking care of your mind, body, and spirit, and in all the ways. And so it's so important that you know that the government, like no one is really gonna help you. Like it's really sad, but we live in a world, I'm sorry, in the US, I'm specifically speaking, but in a society that in the US that the government, this is all I know was from the US speaking, but they don't have your back. And so it's not normal for us to live and be supported by our doctors. I'm sorry, what I'm saying is like the doctors are doing their best, right? But true healing starts with you and doing the natural things, eating like healthy, exercising, drinking water, and not just drinking multiple things, but you know, when you go to the doctor, they're not going to tell you how to do that. They're just going to say what the science has said. But what's really interesting about the science behind schizophrenia is that there's not much research on how to actually heal from this. And there's not much research on the medications, and but there is more research from a spiritual perspective. And from what they say from a spiritual perspective is that you are actually have these gifts, like I was saying earlier. So it breaks my heart to see people go through the medical system and put a Band-Aid and just say, this is it. This is my life. This is my life from now moving forward. I am not. I'm just getting emotional thinking about it because it's just so many people that are suffering and are numb and living in numbness and not desiring more for their life. They desire it, but they just feel like they can't have a life. Yeah, it just breaks my heart, and seeing people numb and just hopeless and feeling like they can't live anymore. People that are on antipsychotic meds also there's a high statistic of high probability of suicide, and it just breaks my heart to see this because people that aren't being supported and through healing, through shamans, energy healers, energy workers, and practitioners, and facilitators, and and just like people that don't know how to heal, and they just are like, this is it, I'm just safe and comfortable being on like really, really intense high drugs for the rest of my life. And so I think that's it. Yeah, I appreciate you all. If you want to be supported on your journey through healing, reach out to me, and you can see in my description below, and help heal through this process of psychosis, schizophrenia, bipolar, all these things. So I just want to help people through that process. So thank you so much. Love to you, and namaste.